This tree here is a great oak, and I have a very deep connection with her. And she reminded me of our embodiment of trees. Like each of us has a tree. What we don't realize is the Akashic records are held within trees. Trees are quiet, ancient observers. When one new tree starts to sprout, it intertwines its roots with the others, and it gets the download of the ancestral knowledge naturally. And one of the things in this week's activation is we intertwine our roots. And the trees have told me over and over, they are like the highest life form here with consciousness. They hold the ability to make portals, they hold entrances into other dimensions. They are overlooked and disregarded, but they are the most knowledge in any living being that lives on our planet. You can find so much by channeling trees. They are scribes. They absorb the history and then they pass it to one another through their roots. Trees tell me that we each have a type of tree that we are the embodiment of. We have all had past lives, especially if you're spiritual, as a tree. Lean into that. What tree are you called to? What's your favorite tree? The trees are the Akashic records. They retain our history. They're quiet observers, but they are very wise. Their roots show us how we're meant to be here. Their roots show us the grid of consciousness. We are meant to spread out our energy. We're all so worried about borders and fences and boundaries, and we keep our energy in. We're so worried that this one's going to take it and that one's going to take it. So instead of expansion, we contract our energy with all of these spiritual teachings about energy vampires. You need to understand that you are safe and expand your energy like the trees. That is how we're meant to live, without fences, without borders, without all these boundaries, without these eggs around us. We're not meant to be that way, guys. That is keeping you stuck and shrunk. You need to just say a prayer that you project your energy out with love and service, and that you trust. And if you do that, you are divinely protected. You don't have to worry about bad energy getting you. We are living wrong. We're supposed to live like the trees do, in a natural setting, like this forest, not with a fence between them, not in a pot, even, not even in a pot. Mother Gaia hates pots. She yells at me and says, "Put me in the ground. Do not contain me." We contain ourselves. Even in spirituality, we should not be teaching you need to contain yourself in an egg. When I do any kind of spiritual work, you will say, I have a filter around me, not a boundary, not an eggshell around me, not a firm border. What I do is I have a filter, and that my light filters out and only lets in the good, but my light is still available to all. It's still available, but I set the intentions that when I create a bubble, it is not with a boundary or a firm border. It is just a filter. It is open, and it just filters out what's not serving me. They are royalty here. Like, she is a queen. And I even looked up the significance of a white oak. This is a white oak. And they are considered to be gods of the forest. Linking yourself with the tree, projecting your light into it, giving it your energy, seeing that light come out of your heart like a thread, go into the tree, ground through its roots, and weave all the way up it, and then bring it back to you. Inhale your thread of light from that tree back, go into your root, and breathe up and in that red grounding energy up your central channel. Then come back to your heart. Project your thread and love and energy back outward, giving to the tree. Do that like 3 times, giving and receiving. Then sit. Sit. You're now connected to the tree, and write down all that comes to you. You will get a lot of knowledge. You will get a lot of downloads. Trees are everything. I just want to piggyback off my last video because there's something significant that I didn't explain properly about protecting our energy from others and forming that bubble around you with a very clear border so that you're separate from others. Thing is if you notice that their tactics to keep us in fear with the news and keep us distracted and upset is because they need us in a fear base and negative in order to feed them. Because if you're vibing high, you're naturally divinely protected because you don't match their frequency. They need us to be in fear, angry, stressed, to feed that. That is the energy of them. The darkness is a low vibration. When you stand in your sovereign power and your intentions are love, compassion, unity, you don't match that frequency. It's kind of like when you hear the stories of like the elites and the ritual work, adrenal, how they have to scare the children first to do whatever, God forbid, that it is that they do to them in order to feed off of them. It's the same thing energetically. When you don't align and you vibe high, a higher frequency, a higher vibration, you are naturally protected because you don't match their frequency. And even if people like narcissists are attracted to you, you'll notice something will happen to remove them out of your life. And that's because you're being divinely protected. But if you buy into the tactics that are made to keep you in low frequency, that's when you leave yourself more vulnerable. If you believe you're vulnerable, belief is everything, then you're more vulnerable. Spiritual hygiene is so important. Just cleansing your body, sitting in nature, amplifying your Taurus energy field. These types of things will naturally cleanse you and protect you.